What is up, my fellow Token Nerds and fellow Scounder Nerds? Now, this is going to be a very special episode because not too long ago, this channel has reached 50 subscribers. And I gotta say, I never expected to get past 15, let alone getting to 50. But I gotta say, I am so grateful you guys subscribing and liking what I do. Most of the time, it's just me going over Camaradettes. But even then, that's like a big deal in my opinion because it's just what I'm really doing is just me sitting in this chair with this guy, Tegasword right here, talking rambly, no scripted, on my phone. So I really gotta thank you guys for taking your time out of your day and watching what I do, even without any special effects or anything. It means so much to me. So, to commemorate that, for the 50 subscribers, I am gonna be ranking all 50 Super Sentai suits from worst to best. This video wouldn't be possible without you guys, so thank you so much. I was gonna do this live, but I have no idea what I'm doing. I might do a live Q&A at some point, but if you guys really want that, we can do it for like 100 subscribers. So, for the 50 right now, we'll just do the Sentai suit rankings. So, without further ado, let's get right to it with the honorable mentions. I only have a few. So, first we got Akiba Ranger, which is an unofficial Sentai, but the suits are cool in some cases, but it's alright. It's alright. And then the Psycho Rangers, I think in the Super Sentai they're called the Neji Rangers. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I gotta say, though the Psycho Ranger suits are some of the best Evil Ranger suits I've ever seen. Like, damn, the black with the red accents looking all menacing is so cool. Those suits are so cool. And my last honorable mention will be Cosmic Fury. Those suits, yeah, they're not the greatest, but where I'm going to be putting them, I'm going to put them wherever Rear Soldier is. But in kind of like at different levels. So, the Cosmic Fury, I think the suits are really cool. I love like they added the red accent, the gold accents on the helmets. Silver being for the Gold Ranger. And I like the Zenith Ranger. They're unique, but wherever Rita Soldier is, that's where the Cosmic Fury suits are going to be. So, there's that. Now, let's get into the actual ranking of all 50 Sentai suits. So, to start off, at number 50, we have Golgo 5. Now, these suits are very... the only real appealing parts about the suits are going to be the helmets. And I do like this scarf. For the very early Sentais, they have scarves. I kind of like that. I kind of wish they were in the newer Sentais, but I mean, for Goggle 5, it's alright. What people are calling the bib is a weird choice. I guess what I'm trying to say is, for the great Sentai, I wish they could have been more greater. But it is what it is for what year they were from. Also, for each of these, for all of them, I'm going to pick two favorite suits and my least favorite suits of the team members. So, for my favorites for Golgo 5, are going to be Goggle Red and Goggle Black. I kind of like the helmet edging a lot better than the others, but it is what it is. And my least favorite, I'm going to have to go with Goggle Yellow. Goggle Yellow, I think it would have been better, but I think the white on yellow really blends in very easily together in this suit, and I don't think it works well. So, and I think the helmet visor is a little weird. So, that's my placement for Goggle 5 at number 50. At number 49, we've got Denji Men, they're basic. Very basic. Kind of do nothing. The cool thing about them is the helmet being more circuitry than some. But even then, they're kind of like, they don't really do anything. I also don't like that their chest design is just a big stripe going down the arms. I will say I like the gloves I like the smaller gloves. And I think the silver accents on them are kind of cool. But they don't really do anything, honestly. So, there's that. My two favorites are going to have to be Denji Red and Denji Blue. I just like their shape a little bit better, personally, of the helmet. My least favorite of these, Denji Green. The chest design of that one, I think the white stripes are a little too much for this suit. And I'm not a fan of like the darker pine green, personally. But yeah, 49, Denji Men. At number 48, we've got Go 5. Now, also known as Lightspeed Rescue, I think these are definitely the worst Power Ranger suits that I've seen. But they're not, they're just, The helmet designs are very simple. They don't have anything special going on. It's just the badge designs. And I think the badge designs on the helmets were supposed to reference what the Rangers were doing in Go 5. And it's fine. The chest design is weird. The only good things about them is that I like the gold accents on the gloves, boots, and belt. But realistically, they don't really do much. So, that being said, my two favorites are going to be Go Red and the Titanium Ranger from the Lightspeed Rescue. Titanium Ranger is a really good suit. And it works with the Lightspeed Rescue Rangers. But as like a whole suit in general, these suits are kind of It's a good 6th Ranger suit, Titanium Ranger though. My least favorite would have to be Go Yellow. Only because I don't like the square design. It just feels very oblong for some reason. But yeah, 48, Go 5. And I believe you go right here. So, at number 47, give me a sec here. I gotta rearrange these a little. Sorry. At number 47, we got surprisingly a little higher up than what people were thinking, but we got Battle Fever J. I don't hate these suits. I mean, I don't like them, but I don't hate them. They're a weird bag. Designs of the helmets are very jarring. No one likes these suits at all. But comparing them to the ones that I had earlier, they have more character. That's what I was missing about the others. I feel like these do better than what people think, but they're not the greatest suits. They're terrible. So there's that. That's all I really gotta say. I like the aspect of each ranger being a different country, but still, I do like the upgrade form that in Gold Zucher there was a Universe Battlefield J that did get an upgrade that looked like Stay Caesar in a way. I thought that was cool, but still. My two favorites are going to have to be Battle Japan and Battle France. They're the most similar in a sense, but I just like their colors a bit better, honestly. My least favorite, you would think it's one thing, but it's not. I have reasons, don't ask. But my least favorite of the Battle Fever suits are going to be Battle Kenya. Reason why is because, one, we now have a new problem with Battle Kenya. The Rio Tegasort says that Battle Kenya is green and not black. There's that, which now has a debate, because for a long time, we thought it was black. It's a black suit. How's it green? Sure, there's green accents, but that doesn't make it green, does it? Also, I don't like the helmet design. I understand that Kenya was supposed to reference a Japanese version of Black Panther, but the helmet design doesn't really work well for me. It just feels very mushy. It feels very half-baked. But that's just me giving my thoughts about that. So, yeah. At number 47, we got Battle Fever J. At number 46, we have, and I realize that Denjiman is not in his right spot. Sorry about that. At number 46, we got Sun Vulcan. Sun Vulcan is better than these other suits that I mentioned before because I feel like their design is a lot better in a sense. Like a single V on the chest and gloves and boots work really well enough. And I think the helmet designs, while being weird to some, I think works overall, and especially in these like early days Sentai suits. They're not the best. No, they're not the best. Some may argue that Denjiman or Golgo 5 might be better than these. But personally, I think that Sun Vulcan does enough to where these are better than others. But that's just me. Now, as for ranking my top 2 and least favorite, there's only like 3. So, first, second, third. So that makes my job easier. So, my favorite would have to be Val Eagle, just because I think the yellow on the helmet makes it stand out a lot better. Second is going to go to Val Panther, just because I like that the head crest of the Panther is a lot more prominent. And then last place, my least favorite would be Val Shark. It feels very off compared to the others. Either if they had like a bronze, copper, whatever material they use, If they had that for the shark, I think it would work better. Either that, or I wish that the other two would match shark bear. Because I do like the blue on that bear. I like the helmets on the other two a lot more, though. So, that's just me. 46, Sun Vulcan. At number 45, we've got 5-man. Off topic, not super related whatsoever. There is 2 different changers for 5-man. You got one for the men and one for the girls. Isn't that a little weird to some? But I don't know. You guys let me know on that front. 5-man. I don't think these are the worst suits of all time. But I think they're basic enough to where they could be like in the middle ground for some of these. But overall, I personally don't like that they have somewhat yellow design on some. But I'm not sure if I like that each ranger on their forehead represents like a aspect of what they teach. Like red being science, blue being gym, black being literature, pink math, and yellow music. I'm not sure if I like that. I kind of wish that they were kind of more unified, but that's just me. But honestly, I think they're alright, but that's just me. My 2 favorites will have to go with 5 red and 5 black, just because I like their helmet designs a lot better. My least favorite, however, I'm gonna have to go with 5 pink, only because the helmet shape of the visor feels very weird, having just a couple straight lines down. It feels weird, and I don't like that as much. So, yeah, 45, 5-man. At number 44, we got Ohranger, aka Power Ranger Zeo. Now, these are another very basic suits, but what makes them stand out more that I will give them is that they have a gold accent, more so than Go-Go 5. And I think they work well enough for what they were trying to do. I don't know much about Ohranger, but for Zeo, like Power Ranger Zeo, yeah, they're pretty good. Pretty good. When you see them in action, they might have a different ranking, but in some still shots, they just don't work the way that they should. But I can't really say much about that. Also, I don't like the helmet designs being just their shape and colored lips. I feel like the helmets could have been a lot more detailed. But this is all they got. So, that's just me. My 2 favorites would have to be all red, obviously, because I love red. And then King Ranger, or in Power Ranger Zeo, the Gold Ranger. Gold Zeo Ranger. I love that the first Gold Ranger was mainly black with gold armament. I think that's a really cool design for a Ranger in general. And red's just favorite color, red. Simple as that. My least favorite, I'm gonna have to give that one to yellow. Only because the shape. Granted, there's not much you can do with the 2-sided shape, but I just don't like that as much. That's literally the only reason. It's cool that she has nunchucks as a weapon, but still, that doesn't really help. So, yeah, at 44, Ohranger. At number 43, we got Mega Ranger, aka Power Rangers in Space. Now, show-wise, Power Rangers in Space, top tier, probably top 10. Suit-wise, however, they're alright. They're just okay. I think that they did enough to where they kind of stand out. Excuse me. Having each Ranger on the chest with their color in a square, I think that's kind of cool. And then with the Silver Ranger, that really helps kind of like blend in with the team better. Better than some other 6 Rangers that will get down on the list that might be higher up. But overall, I think the Mega Ranger suits are really okay at best. If I had to pick 2 that are my favorite, Mega Red and then Mega Silver. I just like those 2 a lot better. Not because of the Rangers they are, just because Red's my favorite color and Silver just works well. My least favorite, however, I'm going to have to give it to... Originally, I was going to do Mega Black, just because helmet shape. But Mega Yellow, I realized that each Ranger has like a yellow color, V-neck color, right here. But yellow doesn't change that color. It just stays yellow. And it's very weird, personally. I don't hate any of these suits, but if I had to give one that is my least favorite, it would be Mega Yellow. So, that's it. But yeah, at 43, Mega Ranger. At number 42, we got Go Ranger. Go Ranger, being the first Sentai, they really set the bar on all of these suits. Now, they are unique enough to where they stand out and have enough character, but comparing to all of these, they just lack that, like, highlight in some. But I don't think these are bad suits, by all means. My 2 little, like, gripes about it is that I wish that the other Rangers had less Vs. I think they were... If I wanted to do these nowadays, I want them to be more like Sun Vulcan, where it's just like a single V. Or maybe like, okay, in Zenkaiger, there was that Zenkai Red. There was that. I wish there was a full team of them that we could do for like a modern day Sentai. I think that would have been really cool, but it is what it is. But Go Ranger overall, they left a big impact on the Super Sentai franchise. Therefore, but the suits don't really hold up against all the others that are coming up. So, 42, Go Ranger. My 2 favorites from them are gonna have to be Aka Ranger and Ki Ranger. Only because I think Aka Red has the most iconic helmet designs and is very iconic in general. Not because it's red, but we're moving past that. And Ki Ranger, I just like the helmet on that one more. My least favorite, however, is going to be Mita Ranger. Mita Ranger, I don't like the chest design of that. And I don't like the helmet design. It is very... I get the weapon was supposed to be like a boomerang, but it doesn't work as well as it should. So that's where I'm putting that. But yeah, 42, Go Ranger. At number 41, we have Tokuger. For being the 38th Sentai, this is what we got. I mean, come on. I mean, there's not much you can really do for trains, but you can do better than this. They are just basic as hell. Granted, with the story, I've seen clips of this. Spoiler alerts, the Rangers are kids, and that's where the imagination comes from. But even then, this is what they got. The train helmet design is really cool, but the body just being a railroad sign with the number. That's it. I'm more angry about these suits than I hate them, but this is where they are at number 41. My two favorites, however, are gonna have to be Tokyo Ichigo and Toku Rokudo. Rokudo, because that is a unique design for what they have. I like it's kind of like he's wearing overalls in a sense, but yeah. If I only had to nitpick about that, is that I wish the gloves were white instead of black. I think that would help blend in with the Rangers a little bit, but it doesn't throw off the game at all. So there's that. Tokyo Ichigo, I just like the helmet design on that one better. And red's my favorite color. I expect a lot of reds to be in my tops, so there's that. My least favorite, I'm gonna have to go with Toku Yungo. Just because I don't like the helmet design, and I think it's a little too much lime green. There's a certain type of green that works. It's like in between lime green, pine green, kind of like that perfect saturated color. We'll get more of that down the line, but as of right now, Yungo is my least favorite. And then overall, that's my thoughts on Tokuger. So, 41, Tokuger. You are right here. At number 40, we got Changeman. Now, Changeman is the only sentai to have this color scheme. Red, black, blue, pink, and white. That is the most unique color scheme we have ever seen in a sentai. Especially in the early days, where all of them are yellow. Well, they have a yellow ranger at some point. It's still incredible that we got this color scheme for Changeman. I like that for Change Dragon, Pegasus, and Griffin. Not sure about Pegasus, but I like that red and black have like a yellow accent, so that helps. And I think most people criticize about the chest design. I don't mind it. I think it's alright. But yeah, it is what it is. The helmets is what carries these suits for me. Just because I like that they feel like a military type with the walkie-talkie headset on the helmet design. But yeah, for where they are at number 40, I think they're right. My two favorites are gonna have to be Change Dragon, red plus dragon equals favorite. Just keep that in mind for the future. And my second favorite is gonna have to be Change Griffin. It's a tough call between Griffin and Pegasus. Some days it's Griffin, some days it's Pegasus. I think just because it was used in Power Rangers, I got more exposure to Change Griffin. So, top two, Change Dragon, Change Griffin. My least favorite is gonna have to be Change Mermaid. For being the first female White Ranger, it's good, but there's just a little too much white going on there. I like that they tried to break it up with the pink accents, but I feel like feel like they could have done better in that, which they do. I'll get to that later, but yeah, as of right now, Change Mermaid's my least favorite from Changeman. But yeah, at number 40, Changeman. You are right here. At number 39, we got Kakuranger, aka the Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. These are the first ninja designs, which give them respects on that. They did have the ninja sword on their backs, and they tried to reference that with the helmet designs. But these are very basic. I'm not sure what they were trying to go with for my Morphin having them alien, but if they're able to convince me that they had ninja skills at the time, I think that would have helped me a lot. Or convince me that they're alien. As of right now, they kind of do nothing on that front, and I don't think that these are the best ninja designs of all time. They're very basic in a similar way like Tokuger, but these suits are just what they are. My two favorites, however, are going to have to be Ninja Black and Ninja White. Ninja Red's alright. Just the helmet design's bland, I guess, compared to the others. Black and White have the better helmet designs. And my least favorite, I'm going to have to go with Ninja Yellow. I get what they were trying to do with changing the gold accents on the belt and collar to be black, to make it not fade into the suit, but I just don't like the triangular helmet design of that one. So that's where I stand with Kakuranger at number 39. At number 38, we got Turbo Ranger. Not Power Rangers Turbo, just Turbo Ranger. That's a joke. That's an inside joke. If you know, you know. I kind of like these suits, oddly enough. They have the more unique side of the vehicle's helmets. Do I think they're the best? No. By all means, no, they're not the best vehicle helmets on the planet. But I like that the chest design is a T. And remember I said that I don't like how they changed I understand why they changed black on Kakuranger. No. When they changed the yellow to be black on Ninja Yellow from Kakuranger, it makes sense with Turbo Ranger just because the white and yellow can very easily blend in together. So that's kind of why I get that. And I think overall, as basic as they are, they have a pretty cool design overall. As for my two favorites, I'm going to have to go with Turbo Red and Turbo Black. My least favorite... Oh, no, wait. No, last time I said Turbo Blue. Two favorites, Turbo Red, Turbo Blue. My least favorite, however, is gonna have to be Turbo Yellow. Not because I hate it. I just feel like it's the weakest out of all of them. That's just me, though. That's just me. But yeah, at number 38, Turbo Ranger. At number 37, we got Dynaman. Now, Dynaman has an interesting story. There were originally going to be a baseball-themed sentai being B-Leaguer, which, sure, you can make it work. We don't have any sports-themed sentai-ish. But I think what they were trying to do worked pretty well. They are a lot thinner, because I believe this was the first time they used spandex for the suits. And I love the helmet designs on these. They're smaller. I could see the baseball motif that they were trying to do, but the helmet designs just work. They just work. Yeah. Very basic. The baseball motif works. I do like that they do like a kind of like a shirt and pants situation with these suits. Like the top part, you can see the baseball jersey designs of that with the white pants. That works really well. So, there's that. My two favorites would have to be Dyna Red and Dyna Black. Dyna Black, I like the red axes on that. I think that works very well. I'm not sure why they did that, but it's cool. My least favorite will have to be Dyna Pink. I feel like they could have saturated that suit a little bit more to make it stand out with the others, but it's alright. But yeah, number 37, Dynaman. At number 36, this is gonna surprise people, but we have Zyuranger. My Morphin down at this bottom. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna get red flagged on this one, but Zyuranger, they're alright. They're overrated in my opinion. They get used way too much here in America. We're getting My Morphin toys in 2026. Come on. You got other Rangers that I can pick from. Plus, not only that, Cosmic Fury got less than that. This was supposed to be... I'm rambling. Sorry. Design-wise, I think My Morphin is very... Like, they're iconic. I can't argue that. But at the same time, comparing to all the other ones that are further down the list, these kind of get lowered down. Not because they're bad, just because everyone else stands out. That's just my opinion. I appreciate that they're the first Dino team, but even then, that doesn't really save them as much. Again, iconic as hell. Comparing to others, they're just don't hold up. My two favorites, however, are going to be Tyranno Ranger and, okay, I'm going to go with the obvious, Dragon Ranger, because, well, My Morphin Green, the most iconic 6th Ranger of all time. What am I supposed to do? Hate on that suit? No. Tommy Oliver wore the suit. He made it look cool. I like the dragon shield on it. It works. It just works. I cannot explain anymore that the Green Ranger suit will be iconic as hell and should be higher on the list. Like, probably top 3 favorite 6th Ranger designs? Maybe top 5, but still. For being what it is, it's really cool. But even then, that doesn't really save them from being this low on the list. Green Ranger can't carry all the weight by himself, but it is what it is. My least favorite, I'm gonna have to go with Mammoth Ranger. Here's why. I think the helmet design for a Mastodon would have worked, but I think what it is right now, I don't like it as much. just because of the helmet design. I think it works well for like the diamond designs for each of the suits for black. It's just the helmet doesn't work as well as it should. But that's just me. And overall, Ranger being iconic is at number 36. At number 35, we have Ginga Man, aka Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. Yes, these are higher than my Morphin. But here's my reasoning. I like the Charlie Brown designs of the suits. That's what they're calling it in the suits. But I like that. It makes them feel like they have this electric spark that I can't really describe. It just works with these designs. I also like the helmets too. It's weird that they have a mouth, like helmet lips on that, where the visor is the mouth. There's a lot of Rangers that have that similar designs. I feel like Ginga Man kind of stands out in this way. But I feel like they own it well enough to where they're proud of it, which I gotta respect them on that front. Joe Ranger does the same thing, but like I said, I prefer the Charlie Brown designs over the diamonds. Overall, Ginga Man, aka Lost Galaxy, have really good designs. My top two would probably be Ginga Red, and then I don't know the Sentai name of this, but we are going with Magnum Defender. I just like the Armored Knight design that it was trying to go for. It looks really cool. I don't like that kind of... It has that jagged designs like the other Ginga Man suits, so it works well together. My least favorite, however, is Ginga Pink. I think there should have been more silver on that helmet like the others. But like I said, I'm gonna go with the argument of I don't hate these suits. If I had to pick one that is my least favorite, it'd be Ginga Pink. Just because the helmet designs. But overall, at number 35, Ginga Man's alright. At number 34, we got Power Ranger. Why is Power Ranger down this low? The answer to that is just because they have the most unique color scheme, with being red, green, and pink, with gold being as their quote-unquote sixth. I don't hate these designs, but it feels like they have more white than they should. I get that we're supposed to contrast with Lupin Ranger, but I don't think the shirt and tie design on the spandex work well with these. I feel like they could have gone better. We already got like a police sentai that is very much better than Power Ranger. But I will give them this. I do like the armor designs. I do like their helmets being like police caps. It's unique. But yeah, this is where they are on the list at number 34. But if I had to put two of them that are my favorites, they're going to have to be Pattern X, just because I love the trench coat design. I think that works very well. And I'm going to have to say, it's honestly a tough call between Pattern Ichigo and Pattern Nico. But I'm going to have to go with Pattern Ichigo, just because I like red. My least favorite would be Pattern Sango, only because the helmet design doesn't work well for me. I get it's supposed to be like a heart, I think, but to me it doesn't work. But that's just me. So yeah, at number 34, Power Ranger. At number 33, we got Maskman. I kind of like these suits. It's weird that Maskman has the 5 logo, where I feel like that should have been for 5 men. But, whatever. Whatever, it is what it is. Maskman has some really cool designs. It's very interesting that they have like a white cuff that has a red stripe going down the hand and boots. I think they were supposed to be like a martial arts team. But you let me know on that front. I have not seen Maskman. Overall, the designs are really cool. I love the helmet designs. They're very sleek. And they work well with white accents. Yellow especially works very well. I can't tell you why. It just works. But yeah. That's my thoughts on Maskman. Now, my 2 favorites will have to be Red Mask and Blue Mask. My least favorite, however, is going to be Black Mask. The white accents on Black Mask work well, but it's sometimes hard for me to get the visor in right away. That doesn't mean I hate the suits. It's just a nitpick. But yeah, at number 33, Maskman. At number 32, this may surprise people, but we got Hurricaneer, aka Power Rangers Ninja Storm. Now, these are interesting because they have an interesting color concept, with the trio being red, blue, and yellow. Not new to the Sentai series overall, no. But they do have Crimson, Navy as extra Rangers, and they brought back the Green 6th Ranger, which is pretty cool. I will say, as far as design goes, I think you could feel like the element designs for each of them, but I don't think they do enough. I like the silver on their arms. I like that. I like that this part of their designs. I like that the helmet can kind of open up and you can see the actor in them. I'm not sure if that's Ninja Storm exclusive or they did Hurricaneer, but you guys let me know on that front. My 2 favorites are honestly gonna be Crimson and Navy, just because I like the gold accents on those 2, and they feel very unique. You can feel the metallic of the suits, and it just works. Plus, I like the head crest designs for the 2. Crimson being a Kabuto beetle, and Navy being a stag beetle. It just works. It just does. My least favorite. This one is gonna be a hot take. But let me explain first. Let me explain that Green Samurai is my least favorite of the Hurricaneer suits. I like the gold accents. I like the gold vest that he's able to take off, and his helmet can flip to a Super Samurai mode. But I don't like the regular helmet where it's like that ninja star. There's another season that does the Ninja Star helmet design a lot better. But for this one, it feels too skinny and it doesn't flow right for me. If the helmet was on that super mode with just the gold chest, I think that would have worked a lot better. And that would boost it up a lot better. But as it stands right now, just because of that helmet choice, I don't like Green Samurai as much. But that's just me. That's just me. So, yeah. At number 32, Hurricane. I think we're at 32, right? We got 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 30. Yep, Hurricane 32. At number 33, this one might surprise people for how high this one is, but at number 31, we got Jekka. Why is Jekka this high? As for the main four suits, I love their designs, oddly enough. It's interesting that they're based on playing cards. You know, Spade Ace, Heart of Queen, Clover King, Diamond Jack. They are very unique choices for a design this early on. I gotta respect them on that front. It feels like an idea that could have been done in like maybe early 2000s, but it's very well done. I also like the yellow scarf or cape they have. It's unique. They're just all of them are very unique. That's all I really have to say on that front. My two favorites would have to be Spade Ace and Heart of Queen. I feel like those two have the best helmet designs just because it works well. Momo Ranger did a heart-shaped design, but I think Heart of Queen does it a lot better. The heart-shaped visor. There might be some later on down the line that have like a heart-shaped visor, but as of right now, that's kind of why I like them. My least favorite, however, is going to be Big One. It does not look like a Jackass suit. It looks like a Go Ranger suit. You could probably make the argument with Kiba Ranger, but we'll get there. Big One is very off-putting for what this suit was trying to be, and I don't like it. It's very weird. That's all I really have to say about that. But yeah, at number 31, surprisingly, Jaka. Den Naked Type. At number 30, we have Power Ranger, aka Power Rangers Turbo this time. Now, I gotta say, what carries these suits for me are the helmet designs. It's unique because the visors are in the shape of the car bumper. I really like that choice because the headlight really flows well with overall what they were trying to do. It makes sense. It just works. What can I say? I will say the bisuits, the black lines do kind of help make them stand out a little bit. I like that, like, racer-esque. Very later on, surprisingly, we'll get onto a Sentai that invokes the racing aspect a lot better. But Car Ranger, for what they are, they're pretty alright. Now, for my top two, I'm gonna have to go with Red Racer. And, again, I don't know the Sentai name for this one, but we're going with Phantom Ranger. Phantom Ranger is definitely a very iconic suit, just because it feels like a tactical warrior. It feels odd that it looks more like a male hero. Don't like Gavon Infinity. Just for the record. I like the suits, but no. But I think the Phantom Ranger suit works really well, and it feels like a guy in charge. That's kind of why. My least favorite of the Car Ranger suits, nothing against Justin from Power Rangers Turbo. Nothing against him. But Blue Racer. I just don't think the helmet design for that one works well for what it's trying to do. It feels weird that it's like a plus symbol shape, but it is what it is. But yeah, at number 30, Car Ranger. At number 29, we have Bioman. Okay, one thing I gotta say about Bioman. There is a Power Rangers adaptation for it. And I've seen a few episodes of it. It's called Power Rangers Star Clash. It was on YouTube for a bit, but it shut down for some reason. You're able to look it up. You're able to find the episodes. You just can't watch it. It's weird. Like, the whole thing is weird. The mentor of the season is a big blob, which is supposed to be the Green Ranger. And they're supposed to be Constellation Rangers. Like Orion, Perseus, Pisces, Aries, all those. But with the Bioman suits, they just don't work as well as they should. There's another season that works better with Constellations, but it's very weird. Now, back to the suits themselves. Bioman has some really interesting choices. The helmet design is very unique at this stage, and I kind of like them for that. It also looks like they're wearing headphones, just saying, and I kind of like that. And I think what kind of holds these suits down is just the circuitry design on the chest. I think it's a little weird, but it's not enough to like outright me hating these suits. They're just alright. Can't say much about them, but they're pretty good. My two favorites will have to be Red 1 and Blue 3. I think the colors just work for those two specifically. What doesn't work for this is Green 2. It is a very pine green, and I'm not really a fan of that choice. Design-wise. But, I mean, again, don't really hate these suits. It's just, Green 2 just doesn't work. I wish the green was a little bit more saturated. But yeah, at number 29, Bioman. At number 28, surprisingly enough, these suits kind of look similar to Bioman, but we got Flashman. These are very similar to Bioman, but the reason why I like these more than Bioman is because of the more, like, solid design of them. I like the helmet, too. During the transformation, I like that they say, shut goggle. That's really cool. Hurricanes did it, too. Well, they don't say shut off, shut goggle. They just have that functionality of viewing the helmet, viewing the Ranger's eyes, and just lowering down the visor. I like that. I like that design. And I think someone mentioned that they were like the 80s workout suits at the time, which, sure, I guess. But the white and black really helped make these suits stand out, in my opinion. I also like that most of the helmet is white, but with the top part being the main color. I really like that. My two favorites. This is probably going to be the same like Bioman, where my two favorites are going to be Red Flash and Blue Flash. But Green Flash, I wish they had been more saturated green. So, Yeah. Number 38, Flashman. Did I say 38? 28. My bad. At number 27, we got... Some people view these as their favorites. I guess. They're just not mine. But number 27, we got Jetman. Now, Jetman, I don't think these are terrible suits. I think we're in a category to where these suits are going to be like B tier, I guess. They're alright, they just don't do much. I like that each ranger is a bird. We don't see that often in a Sentai team, but it's really cool. And I like that part of their design is that they're able to fly because of the underwings. That's a really cool design. I think another part of the design I like is that the wings on the sides of the helmet, or the feathers, whatever you want to call it. I like that whatever ranger is, like Red Hawk, for example, in just one swoop, whereas I think Blue Swallow is 5, I think. I could be wrong on that front. But I like that little touch of the ranking. And I like that the bird design is on the chest too. Kind of like a first ever shoulder armor, I guess. Excuse me again. But yeah, I think these are right. Someone pointed out that they're wearing like Superman trunks. Sure, I guess. View that as you will. My two favorites are going to have to be Red Hawk and Black Condor. Those are my two favorites. My least favorite is going to have to be Yellow Owl. Only because... Oh, no, wait, no. Two favorite. My top two favorites are actually Red Hawk and White Swan. Red Hawk because red's my favorite and all that. Works. White Swan, I actually kind of like because instead of white being the undersuit, it's pink. But it just works. What can I say? It just works very well for what they were trying to do. So there's that. My least favorite is Yellow Owl. Nothing against this suit. I just feel like it's just very... Yeah. That's all I really have to say, I guess. It's cool that's an owl design. We don't get that a lot. But, yeah. That is what it is. 27, Jetman. At number 26, we have another Red Ranger that is a bird, but this is Liveman. Liveman, I think, are really cool suits. I think the YouTuber Christian, similar guy that does Tokusatsu Contact, please check him out. He's really cool. He's a really cool guy. And he seemed very genuine. Seems very genuine from when I met him at Power MorphCon. Just saying. Now, these Liveman suits, Christian mentioned that they feel like a modern Sentai. Like, if someone showed them that these were going to be the next Sentai, they would work, personally. I think, overall, they just work. I like that they have, like, a white pants with the top part being their color. I like that very much. And I like each Ranger having a unique design element for their animal that they're trying to represent. Like, I think Yellow Lion is supposed to has a little bit more color to his chest design, but it works. It works. Now, my two favorites will have to be Red Falcon, and Black Bison. Those two just work. My least favorite is gonna have to go to Green Sai. Only because I don't like the helmet design of that one as much as the others. There is going to be another Ranger out there that does a Rhino design a lot better than Green Sai. But as of right now, it is what it is. And at number 26, Lifeman's pretty good. So yeah. Now we're at the top 25. Now, if you guys... Now, I'm pretty sure most of these are going to be someone's favorites. You guys let me know down below what is your guys' favorite suit designs. And where do you think I should have ranked all of these? Now, I'm not saying where should I put them on the list. I'm not asking you guys to do a full list. I'm just wondering where you guys would put them. So, let's continue with number 25 with Go Onger. Now, these are really good designs for being both animal and vehicle. I think they were supposed to be more vehicle-based, but still, adding that animal motif on these suits are really good. I like that they have like street lines down the side of their arms. That's a unique little touch that I never noticed before when I was watching Power Rangers RPM. But it's pretty cool. It's really cool. And I like that they're wearing seatbelts. Where wings have like a seatbelt made for flight. That's really cool. I also like that the helmet designs of the main 5 are able to have their tires on the side of their helmets, where the ear is. I like that they spin, along with the cuffs on both boots and gloves. It's really cool. It's a really cool design overall. My 2 favorites will have to be Go on Red and Go on Gold. Now, for being what they are, those 2 are really good. And I remember when I was a kid, I used to have a RPM Gold Ranger that had a bike. That was kind of in the design of the main trio, where it had the seatbelts design for vehicles, land vehicles specifically. I'm not sure what happened to that. Probably gave it up. But that's probably why I like Go on Gold the best. And Go on Red just because red. I just like it. My least favorite, however, is going to be Go on Green. Only because the helmet design I don't like as much. I'm not sure what animal it was supposed to be referencing. It might have been a shark, I think. I don't know that for sure. And I think the yellow tires on that one don't work as well as it should. But that's just me. But yeah. Number 25, Go Onger. At number 24, we have ohger. Now, ohger is really cool. They don't really have a gimmick this season, but they have a very cube aesthetic for their gear. I like that in the suit designs themselves. They don't have that, which helps a lot. They do like on the cuffs, on the gloves and boots, they have that Charlie Brown jagged design where it's black. I think it works pretty good. And then the helmet designs for each ranger works really well. It's the most unique animal designs that I've seen. And overall, I really like these suits. Also, the chest designs, they're very detailed in that. And I gotta respect them on that front. So yeah, I do kind of wish there were more like cube details on that. Like maybe if they had like a, I don't know, maybe a cape or something, or maybe like a shoulder guard that was like cube detail. I think that would have worked a lot. But as of what they are, they're really good. As for my two favorites, I'm gonna have to go with Jewel Eagle and Jewel the World. Jewel Eagle. Okay, so I'm only sticking with Jewel Eagle. I know he has a Jewel Gorilla and Jewel Whale form, but we're just sticking with Jewel Eagle. I just like that design a lot. And I think that when the Instincts Awaken happens, I love the wings on that one. Though it's really cool. Jewel of the World, I love that it's like a triple ranger design going on. You got black as like the main color, but then gold and silver respectively. It's really unique for a ranger design, and it really stands out in probably a really good way. So yeah, at number 24, go Zooger. Not go Zooger. Jew Oger. Jew Oger. My bad. Sorry. On that front. At number 23, we have a very popular season, Deca Ranger, aka Power Rangers SPD. Now, these are they definitely feel like a police sentai or police Power Rangers team. It makes sense. Also, weird thing. It's very weird that during the time of 2005, they made SPD take place in the year 2025. And currently, this is 2026. I'm just saying, it feels not canon now. But Christian had a whole video about SPD. If you want to check out, it's definitely a good season overall. Suit-wise, I love the helmet designs. I love that they had the effect of the police sirens flashing on the side of their helmets. I like that each ranger has their number of what they represent. 1, 2, through 5. And I like that Deca Master and Deca Break kind of take that in a unique way, being 100 for Deca Master, and the Roman numeral for 6. It's pretty cool. It's really cool. Again, they also have short gloves too. I like that a lot. Sometimes the big gauntlet gloves don't really work for me, but these do. These do the job what they're supposed to do. I like that. Now, as for my two favorites, I'm going to have to go with Deca Master, just because it's a very unique ranger design, and Deca Break. The white, gold, and blue designs is so beautiful, and I really like that design. Surprisingly, it's not Deca Red this time. My least favorite, however, is Deca Green. I love Bridge as a character. He's funny, and funny story, when I was watching SPD, I thought Bridge was my uncle for a moment. Just because my uncle is a goofball, and just the way that he and Bridge they looked very similar to me. But yeah, it was just a weird thing I had to mention. But suit-wise for Deca Green, I think is very bland. Green-wise, I think it's alright. They could have saturated that a little bit more, but it's fine. The helmet design is kind of what throws it off. It's very simple, but it is what it is. So yeah, at number 23, Deca Ranger. At number 22, just want to make sure I am at where I'm at. yeah, 22. We have Gal Ranger, aka Power Ranger Swap Force. Now, these are definitely one of the better animal designs. Helmet-wise, they're the best animal helmets that I've seen for a Sentai team. There's one team that kind of beats them out, helmet design-wise, but we'll get there when we get there. But overall, Gal Ranger really has a really unique design, and I think that the Silver Ranger works really well. I love that each ranger has a sash with a single line telling what rank they are. And I love that they have the individual animal designs on the left side. It just, they work. I'm not sure if this is part of the design, but I love the golden claws that they have for some. It's really cool. It's really cool. My two favorites would be Gal Red Ranger, obviously, and then Gal Silver. I love the silver design with the blue as like a secondary color. That's just a really good design. The helmet, I love it. I kind of wish I kind of had the Lightning Collection Lunar Wolf Ranger, but still, it is so cool. It is a really cool design for a suit. Gal Red, it just, red's my favorite, and I love the line aesthetic that has, and I just like it. So yeah, my least favorite is gonna have to go to Gal Eagle. I think the eagle design for this one doesn't work as well as it should, but it doesn't really hurt the suit per se. So yeah, that's all I really have to say for Gal Ranger at number 23. 22, my bad. 22. At number 21, we have probably one of the most unique teams of all time. We got Zenkaiger. Zenkaiger has a really unique team in general. You got Stace Caesar, which is like a rival ranger, which is based on Battle Fever, which is pretty cool. The Rangers being mecha based on past mechas, that's a unique design. Design choice. I appreciate that. Zenkaiser being a white ranger instead of a red, that is also unique. It works better than Big One, 10 times better than Big One. But it does enough to where it also kind of feels like a red ranger at the same time. My only real thing is that I don't view Zenkai Juron as a red ranger. He does have like a red ranger quality to him, but I always feel him as like the black ranger, but with red accents. But that's just me. It's probably like a hot take or something. But yeah, I view Zenkaiser as the red ranger for the team, and Zenkai Juron as like a black ranger. But, given what they are, it works. It works, and I'm fine with what they are. That's just my opinion about them, but that's what we're going with. And also, if you couldn't tell, I got the Gear right here. Hello. This was my first ever Sentai toy, and I love it. Love it so much. For my two favorites, it's gonna have to be, two Kaiser. I mean, come on. It's a gold Gokaiger. And again, hello, right here. And then, Zenkaiser himself. Those two suits work very well for what they tried to pull off. I like them very much. I like that the gold accents on Zenkaiger is very prominent, but doesn't overshadow that he's a white ranger. I also kind of like that he kind of has like a Kamen Rider vibe to him. I like that. Two Kaiser, again, it's a gold Kaiser that we've always wanted. I like that. I like that very much. My least favorite, it's really hard, but I'm gonna have to go with Zenkai Vroom. I think he's a little too mechanical, even though he's supposed to be a vehicle-based ranger. I just feel to him. He's not bad. He's just not the greatest. But yeah. Zenkaiger almost made top 20, but number 21. At number 20, I was bashing on Vroom earlier, but we got Bokenger. Bokenger, I really like these suits. The white really makes each ranger pop in this sense. Plus, it helps that they have like a silver accent on the shoulders, gloves, and boots that work really well. I think the logo designs on the chest makes it work for them. It makes sense. Also, the helmet designs for each ranger, I love it. Like, they stick out a little bit, but it's not enough to where it's jarring. It feels very tactical for suits. And yeah, I love them. I like these suits. And I personally like the Mercury Ranger. As a kid, I love the color orange. So seeing a Silver Ranger with orange accents, man, that was awesome. I also got to meet the actor himself, Taizon from Operation Overdrive. It was really a cool moment for me personally. But yeah, which is probably why I'm gonna put Boken Red and Boken Silver at my top 2 favorite suits. My least favorite, it could go either way on some of them, but I'm gonna go with Boken Pink. Just because I think the helmet's a little too white, in a sense. You could probably make an argument on Boken Blue, but at the same time, it's really hard to tell. So, right now, least favorite is Boken Pink. But yeah, overall, Bokenger, number 20, still pretty good. Still pretty good suits. At number 19, we have Time Ranger, aka Power Rangers Time Force. Now, these suits, while being like an earlier Sentai, in the early half of Super Sentai, these suits are very stand out because of what they tried to accomplish. I love the silver accents on the gloves and boots. And I like the black on them, on the belt, with the triangular shape. It really works. Plus, I think the visor and the helmet with the arrow designs work really well for these suits being time-based. They're supposed to represent, I think they're supposed to represent hands of a clock. But they just, if you told me they're supposed to be suits from the year 3000, and honestly, I can see that. I can see that these suits would be from the year 3000. It just makes it. I can see that. My 2 favorites, obviously, I'm gonna have to go with Time Red and Time Fire. Obvious reasons. Moving on. My least favorite, however, I'm gonna have to go with Time Yellow. Only because I'm not sure of how to feel about the helmet design of that one. It's circular, it has a weird point to fit that triangular time hand design. So, not sure about that one. That's why I'm putting it there. Overall, Time Ranger suit wise, B19, love these. Love them, love them. At number 18, we have Die Ranger. Die Ranger has definitely one of the most unique designs overall. They could honestly be up in the top 10s. Just how I'm ranking them as of right now, this is where they are. But still top 20, still pretty good. I consider that a win. I love the helm designs of these Rangers. They feel very angelic, very regal with the gold accents and the way that they're shaped. I love the chest, like the white vest that they have. And I love throughout the suit that they have a gold accents to match it well all together. I think if I had to pick two that are my favorites, it's going to be Kiba Ranger, aka Mighty Morphin White. Just again, same reasons for Dragon Ranger from Mighty Morphin. It just Tommy was very popular, and he made those suits very popular. Suit wise, it works very well with the black and gold accent chest armor, and the tiger design just works. And then Ryu Ranger, it's a red dragon. What else am I supposed to do? Not put it as my favorite. Overall, those two are really good designs in general. Now, for my least favorite, that one's gonna have to go with Kim Ranger, Timba Ranger, Kimik Ranger, the Yellow Ranger, I can never understand the name of that one personally, but I just feel like when it comes to the gold accents, I think it definitely is the weakest out of all of them. But that being said, again, these are not the worst suits ever. I love, at this point, we're probably at the A tier. We probably hit the A tier when we got to Zenkaiger. But these are really good. These are super good suits. It's not that they're this low, but that doesn't mean I don't hate them. So, yeah. Number 18, Die Ranger. Getting the thing. Thank you. Alright. Number 17, we have Ryu Soldier. Now, yes, Cosmic Fury is where Ryu Soldier is, as I said at the beginning of the video. These suits are really, really cool. They combine the dino elements of the suits with a knight element very well. I love that the main five have the silver arm. I really like that. I also like the lightning design that they kind of have. Kind of lightning design. You could take that as well. It's a good design overall. I love the helmet design too. You can see it's like the teeth of the dinosaur in a knight shape. It is very, very clever. And I just really like that. It's kind of weird that they kind of have gold accents on the boots and gloves and belt. And not the helmet. But it's alright. But, yeah. I mean, these suits are what they are. They do their job. And I like them. I like them very much. My two favorites will have to be Ryusoul Red and Ryusoul Black. Now, from Dino Fury aspect, Why Ryusoul Black? I just like the jaggedness of the helmet design. Truly. Ryusoul Red, yes, being red, but I like that it has like a fiery mohawk thing going on with the helmet. I really like that, personally. My least favorite, however, is probably gonna have to be Ryusoul Gold. I can kind of see what they were trying to do, but personally, it doesn't work. Helmet-wise, it should have been better. I think they were trying not to be like Kyoryuger, but I think if they went with the pterodactyl, it might have worked out a little bit better. I just not a fan of that suit in particular, but it's alright. It's alright. I like the blue. I like the silver accents. It's just not my favorite of the Ryusoldier suits. If we're talking Cosmic Fury side, Cosmic Fury Gold is alright. I think my least favorite from that one is probably Cosmic Fury Orange. Honestly, I think the orange on that suit is very matte and doesn't shine like the others. Just feels very blah. I like the jaggedness of it, but that's pretty much it. But yeah, Ryusoldier overall, number 17. Really good suits, and very good, like, combining the Dino and Knight theme together. At number 16, another Dino team, we got Kyoryuger. I was talking about Kyoryuger earlier, but Kyoryuger does their team dynamic very well. There's a lot more Rangers to this one too, being the 11 Rangers, technically. And I think that the helmet designs, where it's the jaw opening with, in my mind, the silver on the mouth, where the mouth plate is, it works well for me because it kind of looks like a ton. Some people think it might be a little weird that it's a full-on jaw of the dinosaur. But you guys, are you trying to tell me that these are terrible suits? Because they aren't. I love that the chest design is their logo, but enlarged to where it's at a shoulder guard. And the yellow accent, or the yellow, kind of blends the suits together very well. It just works. I also like the dark red, or Troy Red, for example, has a very dark red sleeve. It works pretty good. And I love that each Ranger has that design aspect going on. Plus, it's also in the hexagon shape, which makes it very unique. These are really unique suits, and I gotta give them props to where they work the best. It just works. My two favorites are going to be Kyoryu Red, obvious reasons, and then Kyoryu Death, I think. Death Kyoryuger. I don't know the actual Sentai name, other than I know there's the word death in the name. But whatever. I'm going to go with the Dark Ranger just because it was featured in Cosmic Fury, even though it doesn't have the red accent on the helmet. That suit is really, really cool. When I was younger, I liked to play around with the Rangers, and being a Ranger myself, that Ranger in particular, the Dark Ranger, was what I was using as like my OC character. Sort of. But I I really love that suit. I can't believe they took out where they had the Talon Ranger name in the morpher for the toys. It really sucks that it wasn't part of the official Downcharge team, but for what it is, I think it's really cool. My least favorite suit from Kyoryuger is Kyoryu Gray. I think gray was the lamest color they could have done. Where they already had a Silver Ranger planned, they could have gone a different color, like orange. They could have done that. Which would have been that the next season, Kyoryuger is what they did for orange because of the rainbow line. And I think it was a waste of potential for that. So, yeah. Where they are, Kyoryuger at number 16. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Kyoryuger, number 16. I think that is a fair placement. Now, at number 15, this is kind of surprising because I thought these would be lower on the list. But surprisingly enough, at number 15, we have Boom Boonger. Boom Boonger, when they were first revealed, I did not like these suits at all. I feel like the tire hubcap helmet design was very jarring. I think they were just very bland. But looking back and thinking about them now, they're actually really good suits. They feel like a racer can wear them, no problem. And the shoes design for them is the most unique ones we ever seen for Sentai. I like that very much. When you get past the tire hubcap being the visor, sure, they're weird, but they're very unique. As for, in general, it's just, I mean, I didn't think they would work, but they do. And I really like them for that. My two favorites will have to be Boon Red and Boon Orange. Boon Orange because I like the tire design of the helmet. It's very robust and very construction based, which I'm pretty sure that was the intent. And then my least favorite honestly has to go with Boon Violet. When you put Boon Violet with the other 5 members, he very much stands out. I think it's because there was too much purple, whereas the other Rangers did not have enough of their main color. I think, personally, if Boon Violet had been more white on the suit design, I think that would help blend in with the others a lot better while being his own. But that's just a color choice. But I don't hate these suits. I really like them. And they're at 15 for a reason. So, yeah. Boom Boonger, 15. At number 14, we have Mod Ranger, aka Power Rangers Mystic Force. Now, these are really, really cool suits. The gold makes it feel like they're magical. And the color choices that they did for blue and green. I got questions about green. I'll get to that in a minute. But these are really cool overall. They feel hopeful. They feel very elemental. It just works for what they were trying to achieve. I'm saying they work a lot. I apologize on that. But yeah, that's just how I feel. They're just cool. They're just cool. That's not even including the fact that they have a power-up form. If we're talking power-up forms, they're the best in that front. It feels the legendary modes, at least that's what they're called in Mystic Force. The legendary modes feel like a good power-up that, even though you could probably argue that some did not really need it, but these are really good power-up suits in general. When the Power Ranger auction was happening, I could have gotten the... I was tempted on getting the suit for legendary mode Red Ranger specific. That helmet design is just gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. I think picking my two favorites would be Magi Red and Magi Yellow. Just because the helmet designs look really good. I could have gone for Magi Shine or Wizard Fire. But for me, Magi Red and Magi Yellow kind of work the best in this front. My least favorite, however, is going to be Magi Green. Just because he feels too dark of a green. It's like a pine green, but with a hint of blue. I don't really like that color choice. I think there was like one scene from the Power Rangers Operation Overdrive episode where Mystic Force Green came back with Adam, Mighty Morphin Black, Ninja Storm Blue, Dino Thunder Yellow, and SPD Red Bridge this time. That green looked good for that. There was just some scenes that in Mystic Force, that green felt very dark and doesn't feel colorful enough. I wish the green was a little more saturated, but that's just me. Overall, Magi Ranger, really good suits. I love them. I really love these suits. I think we're at the A tier. I think. Maybe. No, we're close to the A, but... No, we are in A. My bad. At number 13, we have, honestly, the best ninja suits of all time. Ninja. These are the best Ninja Sentai suits ever. I will die on that hill for the record. The ninja sash that they have, the ninja stars on their helmets look fantastic. The gauntlets, the whole design for these suits really feel like a ninja that the other suits before it didn't do. They just, chef's kiss. They just work so well. If I had to really nitpick about these suits, I'll say that the white boots don't work well for these. I wish that they were colored. But, all that being aside, best suits I've ever seen. Best ninja suits for Sentai. My two favorites would be Aka Ninja and Star Ninja. Star Ninja, I love the Western vibe of that. It's really cool. Not part of the suit design. I love the weapon too. The guitar sword blaster. It is so cool. It is so cool. I wish that was the changer. And also we were robbed by a burger phone. It was in the show, for the record. It was just not the morpher. We were robbed about that. But whatever. It is what it is. My least favorite of the ninjas is probably Ki Ninja. Ki Ninja, I think the shuriken helmet design is the weakest one. Just because most shurikens are very pointed. This one's very flat. Which works well enough for like a vehicle theme that he was going for. But as like a ninja star, I don't think that would do much. You could make a playing card work, but no, I'm not saying do a playing card. I just feel like they could have done a different shuriken design for Key Ninja. But overall, Ninja, again, best ninja suits for a Sentai team I've ever seen. At number 12, we got kind of another martial arts style. Kind of. We got Geki Ranger. Now, Geki Ranger, I love these suits. Or Power Rangers Jungle Fury. These suits are really good. I think Geki Ranger not having a belt is very unique. It's very interesting that they're the only team that doesn't have a belt. In my mind, I kind of wanted to see a universe Geki Ranger with seeing that belt. I kind of wanted to see that, just see how that feels. But overall, I love the design. I love that the Morpher is like a part of the suit in like a martial arts type of way. Those look really cool. And some people hate the solar morphers from Jungle Fury. I personally like them. That might be a hot take, but they're really cool design-wise. Plus, they also have like a communication device connected to them. That's really cool. Gives me like martial arts spy in a sense, even though they aren't spies, but whatever. The helmet designs also look really cool. I think if I had to pick two of my favorites from these, it would be Geki Violet, and it's a tough call between Geki Red and Geki Chopper, but Geki Red just because I like the red. Geki Chopper is the best Rhino Ranger we've seen. Yeah, I'm gonna stay on the hill. I'm gonna stay on the hill of Geki Chopper being the best Rhino Ranger design that we've seen. Jewel of the World is a rhino, but it's also a wolf and an ohger. So that's kind of, take that as you will. Singularly, Geki Chopper being only a rhino, awesome suit. My least favorite is gonna have to be the Black Spear Ranger from Power Rangers Jungle Fury. The helmet, being a bat, is a little too big, personally. I don't think that helmet works well as a bat. I think they could have done a better route for that. But it is what it is. But Geki Ranger, really cool suits overall. At number 11, we got Aba Ranger, or Power Rangers Dino Thunder. Now, these are definitely one of the best dino suits out there. And Kyoryuger probably will have beaten them, but personally, these are honestly one of my favorite suits when I was growing up. The white jagged designs, having them also implicate into the Super Dino mode, known in Power Rangers, looks really cool. It's just beautiful suits. Also, the logo on the chest, the gold on it, it makes it pop with the other suits. Now, the helmet designs don't really do much, but they just do enough to where I really like them. My two favorites are gonna have to be Abare Black and Abare Red. Abare Black because I love the gold on that suit. It really does work. Yes, I know it's another Tommy suit, but I mean, come on, it's one of the best suits in Dino Thunder. Can you argue that? I could have gone Operate Killer, aka Down Thunder White. But personally, it's not. I know a lot of people like that suit. I know that, but I don't think it works. It's just not my favorite. It's just not my favorite. Operate Red works really well because red is my favorite color, and I just think that it just works. My least favorite is gonna have to be Operate Blue, only because of the visor design. It's a weird shaped design for a visor, but still, almost made a top 10. Gotta give it that. Now, at number 10, I think these would what I consider to be S tier suits overall. At number 10, we got Q Ranger. Q Ranger has the most colorful suits in all of Sentai. You got red, orange, yellow, pink, green, blue, silver, gold. You know. These are really cool suits. I love that each of them represents a constellation. That was really cool. And I like that the helmet designs have a little bit of a sparkle flex to them, making them feel very cosmic. That's really cool. And I love the whole design in general. Being this chest armor with a colored star. Very good. Very good. If I had to pick two favorites, I have to go for Shishi Red. And I was thinking really hard about this, but I'm gonna have to go with Ho-Oh Soldier. This kind of takes the time fire situation, but it's unique enough to where it doesn't overshadow Shishi Red. So, yeah, I like it because of that. My least favorite, however, is going to be Kajiki Yellow. Now, his uniqueness is kind of his downfall compared to the others. I don't like the helmet design. I get it's a swordfish, but you could have done that a little bit better than having a Pinocchio nose thing going on. I want to know the helmet designer's thought process when making that suit. I also kind of want to see how the vision of that one works. So, yeah. That's just my thoughts about Q Ranger at number 10. Really cool suits. At number 9, we have Kira Major. Kira Major is honestly one of the most prettiest suits out there. Is it the best suits out there? Probably not. But what makes them stand out to me is that they have a crystal aspect to their designs. The sleeve that they have is very shiny. I like that. The chest, the shoulder armor, and the helmet design, having a crystal design, is really done beautifully. Gives me Kamen Rider Wizard vibes, honestly. Sort of. Take that as you will. And I also like they still kept a vehicle theme to them. So you can see the vehicle aspects in the suit and the helmets themselves. Now the bisuit doesn't really do much, but the sash with the gem on it is really cool. Now these are not probably the best suits in the planet, but because of what they look like to me, that's why they are up so high, because of what they look like. If I had to pick two of my favorites, it'll have to be Kirame Red and then Kirame Silver. Kirame Silver really is done really well because the sleeve is orange in that shiny way, and for the crystal, it's like a sky blue diamond. which I really love. It's really, really cool. I also like the goggles on Kirame Silver. That's really cool. I also like they kind of go down too, like actual goggles. That's what I like that. My least favorite, however, is going to be Kirame Green. My excuse for this one is the same with the other greens I've put on this list. I think the green could have been a bit more saturated and a little bit more bolder. That's just my opinion on that one. That doesn't mean I hate it though. It works well with all the others. Just that one's the weakest just because the color's a little muted in some aspects. But yeah. Cure Major at number 9. At number 8, we have Ghost Sager, aka Power Rangers Megaforce. We don't talk about Megaforce or whatever. These are really angelic suits, which, yeah, makes sense because it's an angel-themed Sentai. I love that. Okay, so the whole story is that some of the Rangers are partnered up in that same category of land, sea, and sky. Red and pink being sky, black and yellow being land. Blue was supposed to have a partner, but if you know the story, you know the story. It's a little weird that Blue is the only one with his own sea logo, but that doesn't mean he doesn't fit in with the others. No, that's not why. I love that each of them does have a unique design aspects that fit well with each other. It makes them very unique and very much like a team. I also love the helmet designs where the silhouette of like the dragon, shark, snake. I love that they're biting down, but they make the visor. That is the most clever designs for suits I've seen for Sentai. But yeah, these are really good. Now, my 2 favorites are going to have to be Gosei Red and Gosei Black. Gosei Red, okay? Yeah, I like red. I like red. Gosei Black, I just like the jagged visor design on that one. It just works. Robo Knight's cool, but he's alright. My least favorite, however, is gonna have to be Gosei Pink. Not because I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just feel like it just doesn't work. I don't know. If I had to pick one that is my least favorite, it'd be Gosei Pink, but that doesn't mean I hate it. I hate the design. But yeah. Ghost Sager at number 18. No, at number 8. Yeah. It is worth it. At number 7, we have another Regal team. Keen Ohger. Keen Ohger, yeah, they're very solid colors. But what makes up for that is that each suit is very armored based. It's really cool. I also love like they have a side cape. That's really, really cool. We haven't seen suits like this for a Sentai team ever. Plus, they're the only bug team Sentai. It's weird that they're bugs, but they work very well for what they were trying to do. Yeah. My 2, and I will say this, the power-up form for Kuga Ohger, King Kuga Ohger, way too much gold. Way too much gold for that one. There should have been some more red accents to that if they were going to go that route. But it is what it is. My 2 favorite suits are going to be Kuga Ohger and Tamba Ohger. I love the red and blue for these suits. They they're enough saturated to where it tickles my brain to where, ooh, I like that very much. Plus, Taba Oger is probably the best blue I've seen for a Sentai member ever, personally. But yeah, it works. My least favorite, however... Oh, no. Scratch that. Kuga Oger and Spider Kumaros. My bad. I completely forgot about Spider Kumaros. Spider Kumaros is a gorgeous suit. Spider theme, awesome. I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man's my favorite superhero. I got a clock. I got this over here with autographed by Yuri Lowenthal and Nazi Cheater. And that this is a really good design for what the theme was trying to be. So yeah. Two favorites, Kuga Oger and Spider Kumaros. Wine black and gold just work well, beautifully. My least favorite is going to be O Kuwagata. The matte gray, no, it's simple as that. Just the gray doesn't work. It just doesn't. But yeah, King Oger, number 7. At number 6, almost made a top 5. We got Lupin Ranger. Lupin Ranger, compared to Past Ranger, leagues above that. I love the cape design of these. And I think that the black is very fitting for like a thief or vigilante that they were trying to go for a cops and robbers theme. I love the helmet designs too, where they have colored top hats, and it's really cool. Lupin X being more armored, I kind of like that, honestly. I kind of wish it was a little bit more like, I'm not sure how I feel about it, but that I really like Lupin X in general. My two favorites would have to be Lupin Red, obvious reasons, and then Lupin X. That tactical armor design for this suit is really, really cool. My least favorite, however, is going to be Lupin Blue. This is going to be one of those situations where I wish the blue was a bit more saturated so it stands out against the black. But overall, Lupin Ranger, really good suits in general. But yeah. Alright, top 5. Now, depending on day, these could change on day. But for mine now, this is what I have. At number 5, we have Go Busters or Power Rangers Beast Morphers. The leather design, tactical spy feel for these, genius. I love these designs. Like, if there was an actual jacket based on Beast Morphers, I would totally buy that in a heartbeat. It just, oh my god, the animal motifs are also unique, too. We got a cheetah, which was only ever used by Geki Yellow. We got a rabbit. We got a gorilla, which King Blue might be a gorilla, but take that as you will. You got another Kabuto and Stagbeetle for extra rangers, just like Hurricane Germ. But what makes these suits really stand out is just because of that spy tactical leather design that they were doing. I just love that. I love it so much. My two favorites would have to be Red Buster and Stag Buster, actually. Red Buster, no further questions. Stag Buster, however, I love that it feels very aerodynamic for flight. And I love that they use like a sky blue as like an accent color for the silver. It it's honestly my favorite Silver Ranger, personally. But yeah, Go Busters at number 5. Yeah, I love them that much. At number 4, we have Dawn Brothers. Dawn Brothers is a very unique situation to where 2 of the members are CGI and one can switch between a gold and silver form. But overall, Dawn Brothers are really, because of that, their uniqueness, this is why they're so high. It's simple enough to where they stand out to their own, but they feel like a team. My 2 favorites are honestly Don Momotaro and Don Drogoku. Honestly, if there was a Kamen that featured more Dragon of the West storyline, I would really like that. And I loved the red accents that they gave Don Drogoku. My least, and for Don Momotaro, I didn't like the pink peach on the forehead, but I got used to it, and Don Momotaro is definitely one of my favorites. I mean, it's at number 4, so yeah. My least favorite of the Don Brother suits is gonna have to be Sour Brother. Because, sure, it's cool that it's a gorilla, but the really big thing that drags this suit down for me is the red butt. Sure, you can do that. You can do the design of a buff guy, of a gorilla. You can do it like that. But why give him the red butt? Why? That's a conscious choice to have him have a butt. It's weird. I don't like it. That is my least favorite Don Brother suit. I don't hate it, but that is my least favorite. But yeah, Don Brothers, number 4, really cool. Top 3. Again, interchangeable. But at number 3 right now, we have Gokaiger. Also Super Mega. We don't talk about that. These are the best suits ever. All of these suits are really good. But Gokaiger, being a pirate themed, it works so phenomenal. And it just, chef's kiss. Whoever made the Gokaiger suits, please give them $1 million. They are so well liked, so beloved. I honestly agree with that. My 2 favorites are gonna have to be Gokai Red and Gokai Silver. Silver is kind of unique in a sense. It's not my favorite silver, but still is really cool compared to the others. I think it's just very unique in the design for visor-wise and what you can do. My least favorite, however, is going to be Gokai Green. The helmet design is just very simple. But I don't hate it. Gokaiger, honestly, was one of the best suits in Sentai ever. But yeah. Number 3, Gokaiger. Excuse me, again. Ugh. Alright. At number 2, in second place, we have Shinkenger. Shinkenger. What is there to say about it? You got the samurai aesthetic. You got the kanji helmet designs. You have the color top with the black bottom. These are just... This is what I started with for my first ever Power Rangers experience. And I'm so glad it was, because these are honestly my favorite suits ever because it might be a little biased, but Shinkenger, aka Power Ranger Samurai, they just have a really good design that hits the martial arts side of me, and the design in general just really tugs on my heartstrings for that. But yeah, my two favorites will have to be Shinken Red and Shinken Gold. Obvious reasons. Shinken Gold, I like the gold itself. It switches between like a matte gold and a shiny gold, but take that as you will. And then it has like a blue accent, which probably was the standard. No, Magic Shine would be the standard because it had blue, but overall, Shinken Gold is a really cool design in general. I think my least favorite for Shinkenger is probably gonna be... I don't hate any of these suits. None of these suits. I think if I only had to pick one, I would have to go for Shinken Pink. No rhyme or reason, just what it is. I don't really have an explanation on why that's low, but yeah. It's not easy picking the least favorite because all the Shinkenger suits are incredible. So yeah, number 2, Shinkenger. And at number 1, without any further questions, based on the shirt that I've been wearing, based on this guy that has been here the entire time, at number 1, we have number 1 Sentai, Go Zuger. No further explanations on these. These suits are incredible. The gold accents on them work very well. They blend in that animal helmet design so well. You can tell that the ring designs was implemented because the black visor goes around the helmet. And the animal motifs on each one is incredible. Personally, it just works so well. I like that Goshu Unicorn and Goshu Polar have like an accent color to help them out. Because Goshu Unicorn is black, but they couldn't really work because of the black undersuit. So having that pink as like the accent just works very well. Goshu Polar with the sky blue and the gold, yeah, it fits. It works because polar bears are ice-based and therefore sky blue works. Now, my 2 favorites of these, I have to go with Goshu Wolf. Goshu Wolf is my favorite Red Ranger design of all time. I will die on that hill forever because the wolf motif on that makes so much sense. And the red, black, gold is beautiful. It's just beautiful. Goshu Polar would be my second pick because it has that martial arts aesthetic to it. And wine black with the gold and sky blue. It fits so well. My least favorite. Oh boy. I think I have to go with Goshu Eagle? It's between Goshu Eagle and Goshu Tyranno. Goshu Tyranno because the gold doesn't pop as well matched up with the yellow. But Goshu Green, even though it's the perfect green that I wanted, it's still, with the green, it very much doesn't work the way I want it to. It's a good design. All of these are good designs. It's just if I had to pick one, it would be that. So, there's that. And with that is it for the ranking. What do you guys think? Do you think I should have put some suits higher or lower than what my list is. And let me know in the comments down below, what is your favorite suit design from Super Sentai? So, thank you so much for the 50 subscribers. And until next time, have a happy Easter. Take care.